All right, so in this video, we're going to be speaking about the power of abstaining, celibacy, no fat, semen retention, all of that stuff. And really, this video is going to be for both men and women. As you guys know, if you've seen some of my other videos, a couple years ago, I started doing a no-fap semen retention journey, and I felt like it really did change my life and mentality, how I view things, how I relate to my energy, and so on. I actually did, I spoke about the benefits in one video, but then also I did an actual journal report. So it was like every 15 days I was reporting how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking along the journey, and I did it for 120 days, and I did that report. I did the entire journey. No, I did another video talking about 500 days after embarking on that journey and how I felt about it then. It must be, I don't know how long it's been, but I will say, you know, what I took from all the way back then, even though I'm not as strict with it as I was before, it's still like the lessons still remained, and that's what we're going to speak about now. So I think the power for abstaining, going through some form of abstinence for men and women, is that it will heighten your standards. Excuse me. So it's going to make you look at things in a different way, where you look at your energy as a priceless commodity, where it's like, I don't just want to give it my energy, my time to anyone. It's different for men and women. For a woman, it will be the access to their body they're very, selective with. A man's not really selective in the same way, but I still do think he has to be selective with his time and energy. So he's literally going to think to himself, is this girl worthy of my time? A lot of people don't do, or a lot of guys don't do that. But you could say a lot of women too, because people have got caught up in being liberated with no limits at all, which I think is very dangerous. You know, if you're going to have liberation, it must be coupled with limits, because you must be able to understand where you should discipline yourself and how far you should go, right? And many people don't do that. So they give their, the currency of their time, energy, affection, attention away to almost just anyone that can make them feel good. So then they wonder why they get in situations where they're complaining about the men or women that they're dealing with. But how much did they vet the person and say, do they deserve access to me? They don't even stop and do that. But abstaining helps you along with that journey, because now you're going to be in a position where you're more discerning, right? So this is the next point, actually. It resets your discernment and retains your clarity. So when you retain your seed, you're not also just retaining the physical material, but you're also retaining the clarity that comes. You're not in this mental fog. This definitely is still the case with women too. So because you're okay, or what will happen is when you go on some level of journey of abstinence, even if it's a month, it could be 3 months, it could be 4 months, whatever it is, it could be a year for some people. I've seen people say it's been like 2 years, because I've gone through some level of it. I understand exactly why they would want to do that. Because what happens is you think you're not okay by yourself, and then, you become okay with your own being in your own company. So sometimes you feel like you always have to speak to someone. You always have to be relating to people. You always have to be going on dates. You always have to be intimate with someone. And it's not necessarily the case. So you learn to love your own company by yourself. And then in order for someone to come in, you're like, are they going to mess with my level of peace? When someone's coming in, you ask yourself, are they going to interrupt with the level of satisfaction that I'm already providing myself, just working on myself, improving, developing, and so on, and if you look at them and go, nah, they're going to mess with my peace, you just stop yourself there. If they're too much of a red flag, you don't continue down the journey. But if you have a need for company, attention, affection, and intimacy, then you're more likely to look at the red flag and go, you know what, let me just accept it because I just want to get my quick fix of emotional companionship. But you are less likely to do that because you're okay with yourself. You know, when you're okay by yourself, you're very clearly looking at the situation with logic, right? Which then leads us to point number 3, which is when you abstain, as I said, you retain that clarity, but you're very logical because you are looking at it based on what makes sense. What are the pros and cons? You're not, just operating from an emotional state, because you're not really in a too much of an emotional state you're not in the emotional state that comes with being intimate with someone. Of course, especially for women, if but really, again, this could be with guys, but with women, if you're getting that good D from guys, more likely that you're not going to be operating from logic. And I saw this comment the other day where a girl was like, as soon as I get good D, like I turn stupid. All right, but you don't want to be turning stupid for the wrong type of guy, because then you're going to be regretting that you did that. And then the superficial temporary pleasure that you got is not going to be worth the almost permanent, very long-term healing that you're going to have to do from the situation if it goes bad. So I love the fact that when you retain your energy, your sexual energy to yourself, you will look at things from a more logical perspective. And when you want to engage in the emotional bliss that comes from intimacy, it will be with someone who had to be vetted past or vetted by the person you was when you was, operating with logic. So those are reasons I would say there's power in abstinence, celibacy, nofap, semen retention, and you don't have to do it indefinitely. It's not something you have to do forever, but I do think it's some sort of period that I think every man and woman definitely should go through at some point, right? Especially if you want to reset things. Right, so anyway, I want you to comment down below, let Reemus know, have you done it before? Have you tried to do it? Have you try to do No Not November or whatever it is? Have you tried to practice a period of celibacy? And how has that been going for you? So comment down below, let Reemus know, and I'll see you in the next video.